All right. Welcome, everybody, to Tavern Talk, a full spoiler talk show based on the epic fantasy series, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and joining me as always is actor Jansen Lashley Haynes and trending Twitch streamer, TikTok maven, Beth Doman. Brother Dan cannot join us this week, but he will be back next week. I'm excited for this show. As you see below, we have a Kickstarter. Can't wait to talk to our guest about how everyone can participate. And we're talking geography. We're going to continue our series on the Traveler's Guide to an Eye of the World and The Great Hunt, because we did not finish those. We rambled on too long. We got a little metaphysical. But we're going to stay on course. We have 7 places to get to. And can't wait to have this conversation. Everyone, how are you doing? Jansen, Beth, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Having a great week. It's nice in Southern California, and happy to see you guys.
Oh, warm and fuzzies.
It's hotter than Hades in Texas.
Ooh.
96 degrees today.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's fabulous. Just, like, I can't even contain how happy I am to be in Texas this time of year.
Do you have a watering hole that everyone just goes to and at least gets wet? No, nothing. Ooh, no.
I do want to say, I have not said this one time yet in this entire month. May is Melanoma Awareness Month. I am a 14-year melanoma survivor. It's stage 3 metastatic melanoma. Had all my lymph nodes removed under my arm. Went through a year of cancer treatments. You guys, wear sunscreen. Wear a protective head covering. Even if you're very, very, very non-melanated like me, or more melanated like Jansen, you should always wear sunscreen, no matter how much melanin you have in your skin. Please.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm also doing a fundraiser on Twitch for melanoma research. Just FYI.
Beth, I don't see melanin. Sorry. Just kidding.
I'm fish belly.
No. That's your. Thank you. I was just thinking about that. I now live in like desert climate, and I'm not good about that. Wow. Thank you for sharing that story, Beth.
Yeah. Anyway, wear sunscreen, guys. Let's wear sunscreen.
All right. Speaking of sun, we have 2 rays of sun waiting backstage. Let's bring them in right now. Oh yeah, we got Koala Sadai and Tavern, a three-peat, 3 in a row. He's gonna get an award soon. All right, welcome guys, gals, in-betweeners. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, good.
Pretty darn good.
Before
cooling down here in the Badlands while it's heating up there in Texas.
And I think that Beth misspoke earlier when she said that there's no watering hole in Texas to hang out at. I think it's called Houston right now. But
no, that's not even funny. That's not even funny. I know people that are
wet.
Without power for a week.
I have been through flash floods and monsoons and hurricanes, and I find all of it humorous because you should be prepared if you live in those areas. That's just all I'm saying.
Wow.
Oh, that's true.
Schadenfreude.
You've been told.
All right. Well, we before we begin our exploration into the places we meet in the first 2 books, I want to give the floor over to our good friend Koala Sadai. She has something she is promoting, and she, if we're gonna do this up front because it matters, if we can get you guys excited. All right, Koala Sadai, what are we looking at? Let me give you commercial music.
We're looking at the front of the Kickstarter, and I'm so excited. 50 backers so far, And it looks even cooler when I look at it because I see it in Australian dollars, and it's nearly 12,500 Australian that have been put in so far. So that is really excited. We have broken even. So that's really great. At one point I thought that, I was going to be sort of helping fund some of the cards. So what we did was we went a little bit overboard and have made 3 decks of cards. So that, when I say we, that's Scout, Hobbit's called. Some people know him as Tranfear. As Tranfear, you might know him because he wrote 2 What Idol parodies last year and the year before that was sung by Thirsty the Clown. So he wrote So Not Alive and Woke of Time. We had so much fun playing cards with the Cards of Time at WhatCon last year that a bunch of us decided it'd be really fun to have a question and answer type set of cards. I know that they might remind you of another card game that shall never be named because they're very liturgious. So they're a fill in the blanks game. And the idea is that the White Cloak questioners have found your group and they're looking for dark friends. And so the White Cloak in each round uses a white card that has a question on it. And then the black cards are the potential dark friend answers that are being given in. We made 3 sets. So one set I show only. So for people who haven't read the books and love the show, they can play this game with the show only set that has 500 cards. Then the book spoiler set has 1,000 cards in it. And then because fandom is just so much fun, we also created a content creator fandom in-joke set of 500 cards that you can add on. There's lots of add-ons there as well. I think you've got another image there, Ryan, because I accidentally created a whole other set of cards in the process, which we've titled the Matt Bloody Hawthorne Classic Gamblers deck. So it's just like a regular set of playing cards, but with the suits, daggers, dice, horns, and goblets. And the ace card is the Matt card, so it has the M on it. The Jack, Queen, King are gamblers, lords, and heroes. And the Joker cards are the damn prick cards. And you get 1 Donald damn prick and 1 Barney damn prick to choose from in there. And every card has got a different Matt show quote on it. So there are 54 Matt quotes on the card. These are not for sale because they're copyright material. But as an add-on, if you're buying the other cards, you can pay the price of the printing and have a set to play with. So that's just purely the printing price for those cards. And that was really fun creating them on the Discord with lots of help from people, helping me design the icons and choosing the images and getting the colours and all the rest of it. And I'll still be at WhatCon this year with a few thousand free Season 2 Cards of Time to give out. And, there's one of them that no one has seen before. So that's the first time you've seen card number 9 of Season 2, which is the Loyal card. So I'll be giving them out for free. Again, they're not for sale, but as an add-on in the Kickstarter, if you want, you can just pay for the set of printing. It's really fun to be collecting them and trading them at WhatCon. But, at the same time, some people are just like, I just want them all. So there you have it. And if we get 5 new backers or increases in pledges or donations during the live stream, I'll be throwing an extra gift into everybody that's backed so far. Yeah, the Cards of Time are really fun to make.
They're beautimous.
You muted, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. So if we get 5 new supporters, then everyone who has supported thus far gets something, not just the 5?
Exactly.
Oh, that's great.
So they get an extra treat for everybody that's backed the project. We did this yesterday on Unraveling the Pattern when we played an online demo version of the game live, and got 12 new backers, which was just 8 new backers and 4 people increased their pledge, so 12 people, which was really exciting.
This might be my favorite ever. The colors are so popping.
Yeah, and Adelaide's is just the coolest. Whoever thought we were going to get a horny lush Adelaide's,
Mm.
I have a very, very crazy theory about her in the show.
Ooh.
Okay.
I love loony theories.
That's for later, though.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that. So yeah, we'll be checking in throughout the show and see if we're getting any action. But until then, let's start with a traveler's guide to Devon Ride.
Devon Ride.
Devon Ride.
Jansen, take it away.
Well, we're in Devon Ride, and if I were, I like this music because I sound like I'm like a tour guide, who's slash car dealer, especially if I'm talking about Devon Ride, if I'm trying to sell it. So I guess, Devon Ride is a place where if you're from Emmons Field, it's the place that you've probably gone, and it's the farthest place you've ever been. So a few people we know in the town have been there, like Perrin. And because Perrin, through his POV, we know that the one inn in Devon Ride is called the White Boar. And a few people who, I'm sure, like Master Coffin and Master Luhan, and people who do commerce out of Emmons Field probably start there on their journey out to get their products further out for sale and for being sold. So, Devon Ride isn't a huge place on the map. It's pretty much a village too. It's a bigger town. I guess you could consider it a town. And it's kind of like the gateway to Emmons Field, I guess, to nowhere.
Right? Yeah. It's like when you're going out to Vegas, and it's like Barstow.
Yeah, exactly.
The last town you'll see before Vegas. All right, so and so they're basically like just almost like a bigger version of Emmons Field. Would you agree with that? The mentality, the ruggedness of the people.
I would even consider that some of the people from Devon Ride look down a little bit, just a little bit, to the people in Emmons Field. And you have to admit, if you remember, there are a lot of relatives of people in Devon Ride from Emmons Field. Most notably, actually one of my favorite characters to read about in the book, because he comes back and forth so many times, is Will Alcine, who ends up being one of Perrin's bodyguards, one of the Wolf Guard. And the Alcine family, who is distant cousins of Perrin, they are from Devon Ride. So we know that.
Nice. Okay, I forgot about that. That's excellent.
Yeah, Devon Ride. Devon Ride has some, they come back later on in the books. Oh, before I say any more, I'd like to tell all of our people and anybody watching this show that we do have spoilers, and this is pretty much going to be a code red. So if you have not read the books past, book 2, please turn it off and save it for later.
Yeah. You were very good at remembering that. That's a good job.
So we know, back to Devon Ride, that they play an integral part in the Battle of the Two Rivers in the books. And you would have never thought that they would have had a strategic military position in the Two Rivers, but they did by naturally being on the flank of the Trolloc horde, the small Trolloc horde, considering what it was compared to Tarmangaiden and the Emond's Field, and they pinched them and took them down unknowingly, coming out of Devon Rye. And that's pretty much their shining moment in the series.
All right, let's look at this. Look at the map.
It's right
now. It does say in the wiki that Devon Ride's main activity is to back. So I imagine that's, pretty much shitty that, obviously the Two Rivers to back is far superior to theirs. They must have a, hatred, animosity. All right.
Yeah, Devon Ride is also
not part of the Two Rivers.
Oh, that's a good question. Is the Devon Ride part of the Two Rivers?
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
Yeah, it's in between the Two Rivers.
Do they have wisdom, the women's circle and the village council?
Yes, they.
Yeah.
And I believe what was her name? Something Baron. I forgot the name of the.
Because she came up from Devon Ride.
Right.
Came up from Devon Ride to watch over things for a while.
Well, once Eve left,
and I believe her last Baron. And if it was, maybe she's related to John Baron. That'd be interesting. But so they have everything there. And another key moment that happened in Devon Ride was at Jack Alceen's farm, and this is when we really started seeing Piran's Tavern nature starting to take hold of the people around him. And he started forming these bonds with by being Tavern, and some of the people that he grasped and took with him at the farm ended up being, some of his closest supporters and officers, actually. At this moment, they went into battling Trollocs in the forests and stuff, and guys like Ban Alceen and Will Alceen became officers in the Wolf Guard, and their lives were irrevocably changed by being that close to Piran.
We talked about this before,
But could they also have like the old blood, that aspect of it?
I think they could have some of the old blood.
100%. I mean, we talked about Watch Hill being, this a perfect position, and Devon Ride balancing Emond's Field on the south side. But clearly, Devon Ride is. I mean, not only is the entire area tied to horses, especially with Matt's dad, Abel being able to spot horses, and Matt can spot horses. But it's almost like the cavalry resided in Devon Ride. It was really, it's just a really cool, looking at it from military perspective, it's just a cool little history that's going on there.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually believe the closer you lived or were born to the actual wine spring, is the blood you have from the old tongue. Now, if you remember, and that explains a lot because of Matt being the only one who really got some of those images and voices and some of the old tongue before he ever went through the doorway, shouting things. And it makes a lot of sense because Egwene as well was one of the strongest, and Nynaeve were also some of the strongest, wielders of power that came out of the Two Rivers. I believe, that makes a lot of sense. Even Matt's sister, Bodwin, was very strong in the power as well. Probably be safe to say, funny, is because the pattern likes to play jokes on Matt. It's almost guaranteed that if he got tested, he would probably be able to channel too.
Oh,
yeah. That would be interesting if the medallion kept him from realizing that, but I don't know if it works against male channelers. I don't remember if it works against male channelers or not.
Ooh, nice.
It worked against Demon Dread at the end.
Yeah. So
Right.
that'd be funny if it kept him from developing anything.
That would be funny. But that's the kind of humor the pattern would play.
Like, could Matt have ever learned to be a dreamer, and could he have been a force in Tel'aran'rhiod if he had a teacher?
Well, I don't know about Matt. I don't know.
Do you recall throughout the books? I believe all three of them experience this, where when they think about each other, colors
swirlies. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that could just, that could be severe in nature, but it could also mean that they can connect in a different way that just never got explored. Because I always felt that it was a connection, that they could sense each other.
There was, and Perrin and Matt at least both had their own version of precognition.
Yeah.
If you will, with Matt having the dice roll harder or stronger, closer to something that would affect him or his life, and Perrin in a number of ways, by smell, by when he went into Tel'aran'rhiod, he saw the windows that even the wolves couldn't see.
Yeah.
And that showed you that Perrin was a true dreamer, at least people who, Wolf brothers.
Yeah, Wolf Dream, yeah.
Think that there might be some Wolf sisters too, are automatically, they are, dream walkers. They can walk the dream, and they're probably some of the best there are. I would even put Gnome up against one of the wise ones. Because if you think about it, Gnome was able to trick Perrin until he knew who he was.
That is true.
So he had some skill.
Yeah.
He had some skill.
Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, Perrin figured out the whole traveling need thing before the girls ever figured it out.
Yep.
Or before they were even told about it.
Long time.
Yeah, he was well ahead of that.
Yeah, Perrin figured out a lot of stuff the girls got taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's just interesting. And I guess that's the wolfy nature of it all, but it's almost like why can't Matt, Matt's right there, and he's just as, he's got, I don't know. It's like, I almost like to think that they all could be doing each other's thing in some way.
If you think about it, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jensen.
I think if Matt had the opportunity or was introduced in any way to anything like Tel'aran'rhiod, he would do everything possible to not do that ever again.
Oh yeah. He would avoid that shit.
But strategically though, he would probably be able to do way cooler shit than Perrin ended up doing.
Yeah, but they all had a similar power, right? In that, with Perrin, he had the wolf dream, which gave him access to every wolf memory, right? It was just passed down from generation to generation. With Rand, he had Luz Theron in his head. So he had all that past information that at his fingertips if he chose to talk to Luz Theron. And then Matt had all the memories of all of the battles going all the way back. So they all had all the history that they needed at their fingertips if they just learned how to access it properly or prompt, come up with the correct prompts. If that's
Matt
a good
had
way
a stronger power.
Yeah.
Matt, it got to the point where all Matt had to do was ask the dice what to do.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
He didn't even roll a 1. He could do whatever. What do I do?
Just for the record, this is what I think about whenever they talk about the colors.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
This exactly. Maybe more psychedelic version, like a mandala of them, but yeah, that's it.
I always thought of it as just splashes of like when you get the sunspot sometimes, but just in different colors. And I'm pretty sure that the colors were specific to the individual they were thinking about. I think there was a certain color assigned to each one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think it's just swirling colors is my guess, and then sometimes you could see images in the color, and then I think the last chapters we just passed through this in our first Armada show. He says something about like 1,000 emanating like circles, so like it wasn't just one big circle. It'd be like thousands and thousands,
Like
of them,
like a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, that was what I'm thinking. But
Can I ask a show question?
Isn't there a kaleidoscope?
Oh yeah, please.
It's just occurred to me. I've been trying to figure out ever since season 1 what Min was predicting when Rand said, "What do you see about me now?" And she said, "Rainbows and carnivals and 3 beautiful women." Is the rainbows the swirling colours?
I've wondered that.
What the hell are the rainbows?
Well, the shawl, the Amerlin stole, is a rainbow color.
It's kind of like a rainbow.
Rand.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he was going to be entwined with the Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I thought about it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
The kaleidoscope, I believe, is oh god, I always screw this guy's name.
Chamber. Nesta Denrius looks through it.
Where is it at?
It's in Elaine's one of Elaine's sitting chambers. I thought
it was in the study for whatever reason. Oh.
And Nesta, it's when Nesta comes in, looks through it, and demands that Elaine should teach.
Oh yeah, the Windfinders.
From the deal bargain. The most foolish move ever in the whole books, I say, but still.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Windfinders are something else.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so
that's
right.
All right.
I was actually working on a parody about them.
Oh shit! I can't. Well, dude, yeah.
No, I'm not gonna be in White Idol. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear
All
that.
Right. Yeah. Next
Nobody
up.
wants to hear me, but I'm in it.
No, we all want to hear. No, everyone. Yeah. You are great. Your parody. You have like an entire channel. This is unbelievable. Yeah.
Okay, next up from Devon Ride, we hit Tavern Ferry.
I think we talked about them last week.
Yes,
definitely covered that. I think next on our list is Shinar. I don't know if we've actually gotten to the.
Okay, so yeah, because we had gotten all the way out to Whitebridge, then to Camelin, and then out to Torrance Gap. Yeah, Faldara, thank you. Torrance Gap. And then we had left there and we were heading toward Carrion. But I don't know where we're.
Yeah, no, I think we started like episode 2. We just skipped over Shinar.
Oh, what the hell am I doing with this?
I'm just gonna take over. I've done some research.
Okay.
Shinar.
All right.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shinar. Jansen, what can everyone expect on their vacation to Shinar?
On your vacation to Shinar, you can expect. Well, as soon as you get there, you see farms that are all very close together. Because all of the farms that are apart from each other don't last for long because they are so close to the Blight, and there are Trolloc raids that come around a lot.
Yep.
So, when you come into Shinar, you get the feel of secureness. You get the feel of, people ready for battle. Structures that are built not for beauty, but to hold. Which, in my mind are, lots of drawbridges and spikes and, tons of buttresses with holes for shooting arrows and, all those things. Something that is built to hold. So I see lots of tall, buildings with scouts and patrols. You'll also see tons and tons of fire pits because at night they like to have lots of light because fades can travel in the shadows, and you are not allowed to cover your face, which also is a rule that somehow changes later on in the books. That we have a POV that it's either Lan or Bukama who are shocked that they would let somebody wear that fashion would let some of them dictate not some people to wear a mask in the borderlands.
They're anti-maskers?
Yeah,
shocking.
They're anti anything that covers your face.
But when you meet the people there, you get the sense of a very hardy group of people who were also pretty much meant to hold. People who have very, very strong values. People who don't play games like Southerners do in this illustrious world that Robert Jordan has made. We all know about the game of houses. Well, this is one of the first times in the series that we get the true sense of the Borderlands that actually don't play this game. They have way too many things to worry about, guarding, the entire world from the blight and the dark and the creatures of the dark, than to play stupid games of power and prestige. But as a people, I think you would like the people of Shinar. They're gracious. They, are very polite people, and they have a sense of honor. So I think it'd be a nice place to visit. Very cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd be wearing your North Face jacket and some gloves, but very cold. I get the sense of like Canada.
Canada
like
cold.
Canada cold. Yeah, I see skis and snow boots.
Yeah.
Things like that, especially in the wintertime. We know that in the winter time that it gets so cold that it freezes the sap in trees and they pop. And you can hear them cracking through the night.
Yes.
So it's cold. It can get cold in Shinar.
It's also it's a common phrase you hear in taverns throughout Randland is, have you ever been to a Shanaran bathhouse?
Yes, the people there live together.
They're not shy.
And it doesn't matter what station you are, whether you are a common footman or you're the Lord of Faldara itself or the Lady of Faldara itself. It doesn't matter gender, race, whatever you are. The bathhouses are just the bathhouses, and people go there to clean up and get the hell out of there.
It reminds me of Trolloc Troopers. Would you like to know more? Continue, sorry.
So yeah, it's it definitely, and we find this through all the places that we go in the Wheel of Time, that every single culture, every town, every city has their own very strange things that they do. They have these customs that other people don't do. And it's one of the things that makes it exciting to go to read about a different city or a different town or a different culture, because they are so different and they have these things that Robert Jordan has written into them to help broaden, the creativity of their whole race of people. So it's cool. I love it.
Can you name the capital of Shinar?
I believe the capital of Shinar is, it's one of two. Is it Chachin? No, it's not Faldara. It's Daishar.
Chachin is Pandor.
Oh, please.
Elmoran.
Elmoran. There we are.
Elmoran, yeah. So
Chachin
is Pandor and Shoal Arbella is an Arafel.
Yeah.
Bonus points.
Yes. Bonus
and
points.
one excitement, Squee. We've got a new backer. We've got a new,
nice.
We've got a new backer on the Kickstarter who
No,
not only purchased but also added a donation on top. So that's really exciting.
Very
Four more
Very
backers
cool.
and everybody gets a gift.
nice. That's
Very
awesome.
nice. Yeah, so the cool thing about Shinar and pretty much all of the northern kingdoms is they're very militaristic in nature. Everything that they have, as Jensen was saying, is has a purpose, has a utility. So their houses, their everything, like you said, their farms, everything has a purpose for defense, to be able to fight, to be able to hold off stuff. It's really cool. I really like their society, and they live life knowing that tomorrow is not guaranteed. So therefore, they don't have that issue with, bathing together, or because, when it comes down to it in the middle of a fight, you're going to be standing toe to toe with these people. So there's no secrets there. Yeah.
And currently, right now in the book's timeline, this will change later, they also harbor one of the 5 greatest military minds in the world today in Agulmar Jahad, who is one of the great captains. And so this tells you, Shinaran armies, these borderlanders are extremely good fighters. They know how to hold their own. They know how to fight. And being the kind of general that Agumar is, he is best at his defense.
In the books.
Yeah, in the books even. He's made
I'm just saying in the books. I'm not in the show he was kind of a man general, but yeah, I don't know what the hell happened on the show.
In fact, in the show, that is the one part that I like the absolute least in the entire show. It's at the very bottom of the list, is that picture of him riding with those 4 other horses like they're an army.
Yep. I
just can't get it out of my mind. I'm like, oh, that's bad.
It's like a video game where you can only get 4 players on one side and 4 players on the other.
Nice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that
I
whole
like
thing.
the way we get that very realistic view, though, of the borderlanders.
Oh yeah, I do too.
That they just don't have time for all the game of houses bullshit that goes on in the other parts of the world, and it's so realistic. If you were living in the Ukraine at the moment, imagine how real your life is going to be compared to, some of us that are, some of my first world problems really annoy me sometimes. And I think, oh my God, get back in the real world, because we really do get sidetracked with so much if we're not there on the front of everything like the Shinarans are. It's something I really love about the way Robert Jordan wrote that whole area of the world. It was beautiful.
I'm
sorry. I was gonna say historically, I don't know. I don't have the companion with me, and I don't have Livingston's book. I'd love, if anyone has Michael Livingston's, I'd love to hear what his thank you. What his section says about Shinar, but it very much reminds me of like the edges of the Roman Empire when like they're just pressed up against the Gauls, and at any moment like you could just be beset upon by just people you've never seen before, using weapons and gear and clothing that you've never experienced, and they're just coming at you. And that's like reminds me of what like the Shinarans deal with the Trollocs and the raids and what have you.
Now here's something that was a very different as well in between the book and the show. And I actually liked what they did in the show because it was closer. But in the book, Tarwin's Gap and Faldara are not as close as they are in the show.
Correct.
They made it in the show as basically the city that guards Tarwin's Gap, which they still are, in the books as well. But it was not right outside of the gap.
You couldn't see it, right?
Yeah, you couldn't see it from there. They had to ride to the gap, but it makes it easier for the show to do it that way because they'll be able to have more scenes right outside of it and things like that. So I understand why.
Yeah, and the way they did it in the show, I mean, it's really cool the way the city is up on a butte almost.
Yeah.
And to get to it, you'd have to come at it and then around it to get up into the city. Unless they're climbing up the rocks, which would, be a pain in the ass. But I can see in a future episode that whole thing being surrounded. Kind of like Frodo and Sam on the rock with the lava. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty amazing.
Help remind me, is Shinar the city that Pat and Fane tried to climb the walls up like a gecko?
That
was Faldara.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Shinar's is the kingdom, right?
Yeah, it was Faldara.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, beautiful. So everyone, if there's so it looks like Mr. Stovey's a little confused by your Kickstarter.
That's a great picture.
She said, I can't tell what decks have what, but then Janie Wright comes in and says, I was confused too. You just need to read the more section to get more explanation. Hopefully that works out for everybody. I'm like furiously refreshing this.
Noman Garden's got to go. And in the map, I've got it up, but Tarwin's Gap is well past Malkir, which it shows it up to the far right, and Malkir's a little bit to the left. So yeah, 100%. It's not right outside in the books for sure.
No way.
No.
But it was very strategic because it naturally funnels an army. Coming out of the Blight, you would have to go into a funnel, and like in the books, like we said, they had the towers on either side. And you could literally just let them go between you for a while and just mow them down from the sides, which was, it was just a perfect bottleneck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to use that a lot. So where are we going from here? We are in Faldara, and we're at the end.
Let me get the proper music.
Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about Mallard's Hill and Oakwater last time, too, so...
Yeah, we did.
No, we have, next up...
Almost Plain.
Almost Plain
or Amador?
Oh, wait, I don't know, it's chronological. Amador could be next.
Okay,
let's do Amador.
If it's chronological, we know that Jacques was there before he got sent back to do his good works.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm sensitive to nerd brain. I'm sorry to upset anyone's nerd brain. We'll go in order.
Are you saying that I have a nerd brain?
The Jensenpedia Britannica or whatever over here.
All right.
No, very interesting place.
Amador is related to Hodor. He's Hodor's cousin.
Yeah, when he was like Hodor, he was, no, Amador.
They just go back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a place where not just Aes Sedai, but wielding the power in general is outlawed.
Yes.
Having trained in the tower is outlawed.
I just noticed
by hanging.
What'd you just notice?
I just noticed on the map that just south of Amador is a river called Sharia, which is interesting, right?
Really?
Down there, Here, I'll zoom in on it. Right there.
Sure. Wow. Okay. A little topical there, Jordan.
I know. I was like, that's on the nose. That's weird.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. So Sharia could be referenced to Sharia law.
It could be. I don't know.
We're adults. We can talk about shit. Yeah. No. That's pretty intense. I never noticed that at all.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Amadicia. So yeah.
Yay, Amadicia.
Amadicia is ruled by a king who has pretty much no power.
Yeah.
It is run by the Children of the Light, whose central place is the Dome of Truth, and ran by Lord Captain Commander Pedro Nile, at least the current Lord Captain Commander, who is also another one of the 5 people right in the world who are one of the greatest general minds alive today. He is also someone else who was known for being his best when his back was against the wall, or something to that effect. He had numerous banners of armies that he had defeated in his chambers in the Dome of Truth, and one of the most memorable being that he talked about being the banner of the King of Ilion, Matin Stephaneus, who they fought in what they call the Troubles, and some in the same areas call it the White Cloak War. It is also a harbinger of one of the biggest followers of the Dark One. Time, a man who goes by the name of Joachim Carradine, and also in some circles goes by the name of Boars.
Boar's head.
Okay. Is that
Well,
your
he
favorite?
just calls himself that.
Yeah. He does.
Is
Yeah.
that-
He's
Is
a
that
Boar's
like?
in his own head.
Do you do that in
Yeah.
your brain every time? Is it like when people say "my wife"? Do you do Boars?
Dude, it pops up every time his name comes up. The first thing I think is Boar's head, and then I get hungry. And I'm like, I need a sandwich. Damn it!
Damn it, sandwich.
Carradine is a very
Mom.
very
Yep.
character. The whole books up until I believe it is the Gathering Storm where he dies. It's either that or the end of Knife of Dreams where he dies on being drowned to death in brandy by one Millie Skink, the Lady Shine.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
that's so great. That's so great. that makes me like her more.
The thing I like about her is she just gets shit done. She doesn't. I mean, she's got one job. She's got one job, and she's fucking great at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really.
She also has, even to the end of the books, managed to survive, which is, by all the data and all of the knowledge we have, the number one thing that the Dark One likes, or at least rewards, is the ones who are there in the end.
Yep.
The ones who survive. So we know
all about pitting them against each other and getting the best of the best of the best of the best.
She survived through the entire book. Her whereabouts are unknown.
That is true.
Yeah, her whereabouts are unknown.
So, okay. Show question. Do we think he's showing up in the show? Or do we think he's been merged? Jason. I think he's been merged.
I think he is been merged too. I believe later in the series we will see Eamon Valda. I believe Eamon Valda is 5 characters in one.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, and I believe that he's going to be the one who is the Dark One. He's going to be the one who's the Dark Friend.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It'll be, but that'll be a big reveal for non-book readers. That'll be something that people will be like, "What? Oh my God! What? I knew it."
Yeah, but
it'll be one of those mini ones.
I'm gonna push against that because he's so vile. He is so deliciously vile on the show that I don't think anybody believes that he's not. It would be a bigger surprise if it turns out that it's not him, he's not. That would blow my mind.
That's definitely true. You're right.
But he's so good.
He's vile.
Oh my god.
He's vile, but I know that they're going to do this, especially in the Battle of the Two Rivers. They're going to delve into the White Cloaks more. They're going to delve into Amador. They're going to delve into their conviction. And that's something that they talk about throughout the entire book is the zeal and the conviction of White Cloaks. Like, it's almost, they compare them to Messimus followers sometimes.
Yeah.
Having that much like righteousness and that much to see the light done, So I think that we
like
may
the Templars and the Crusades.
Yeah, we may see a really good speech from Eamon Valda that humanizes him to the audience.
That'd be amazing.
Like something that happened to his family, like why you want to know why I joined the White Cloaks, something like that. We'll get something like that to him, because you also have to remember this. Right now, in that little group of White Cloaks that are traveling, running out of Falma, Eamon Valda's in charge now because Jeffrey Barnold is dead. And he even said this to Dane Barnhold, you're lucky that your dad is the one in charge right now. You won't have his protection if he's not here, young Dane Barnhold. He says,
I think that event is what turns him into basically Valda's lead freaking killer. Because for 100%.
And so he's, I believe that Eamon Valda that we're getting in the show is, obviously Eamon Valda, Joachim Carradine, but also Jared Beyer. I believe the Jared Beyer of this show.
Niall would be Jeffrem, I think.
Huh?
Pedron Niall would have been Jeffrem.
Yeah.
Much.
That's a question. That's something that I didn't even really think about delving into. How much have they even spoken of Amadicia or Amador in any of the shows?
I don't remember.
I don't
believe so.
Yeah, I don't think they have. Right now, the White Cloaks just look like a group that's just moving around from. I want to say that they've talked about orders, so there's got to be something, but I don't think they've gotten into it.
They did mention Amadicia one time.
They mentioned something about orders.
Jeff from Bornhold was talking to Dane, saying that everyone else that Almoth Plain, they all sent out help, an SOS, and the only people that showed up from Amadicia were us.
Right.
Can't find it in the transcript.
He said something about we're the only ones who showed up, and that's at the beginning.
He does say that. We're the ones that showed up, but I don't think he said Amadicia.
He didn't say Amadicia because I'm searching the entire transcript.
They said that so it suggests that they had to call him from someplace, but you're right. But wherever they do have a stronghold, we will hear about it next season. Because they're going to be
with Jeffrem down, I can see them having some kind of leadership thing happen somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where Valda takes over. He's in charge right now, but officially, I think there's got to be something.
Well, they'll use it to radicalize them more. I imagine, maybe even, just
definitely.
You know what they could do as far as a speed up thing for the show? All they have to do is they're in camp. They have a messenger come to Eamon Valda, give him a note, and he reads, it's just come through. The Shanshan have taken over Amador. That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
And that wipes out 6 books of continuity.
No, yeah, that's true.
6 books of continuity. It already puts them there. It makes it so there's no more but them and that conflict for the show, which is going to be big. That also takes Galad away from having to even be a White Cloak.
Oh, but I want to see Galad become a White Cloak.
I'm sorry. I'm saying
that's the whole arc. That's the whole arc for him. You take that away, and why have Galad?
Have you heard his name mentioned?
Yeah, we don't even.
No,
need
I have
him
not. No, and listen, I can see them yanking and just leaving it to.
No, right?
But I'm gonna tell you right now, if they choose Galad or Gawain over Galad, I fucking panda riot.
I'm telling you, they've already mentioned Gawain's name for his birthday party.
I know, but no.
If they don't play Gawain properly. Well, here's the thing. There's two options here. We get book true Gawain, which is basically brainwashed as a child and follows that edict throughout the whole thing, which is what we get in the books, which is, I have to protect women or my sister, and that's my whole purpose in life. Or we get a new version of Gawain that like a Galwin kind of mix, which I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, a Galad Gawain mix.
Is that just like a young Brad Pitt?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I do believe that there's going to be Galad because I believe that there's no way they're going to take out the Mat fighting those two scenes.
I like what Dan Lou says. Galad needs to be a white cloak to start to redeem them.
100%.
Oh, I agree with that. Sure.
Yeah.
Unless they make it Dane Bornhold who turns them and he redeems himself of his hatred for Perrin.
They did make us love him.
They did. He was super freaking awesome until he got daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like Kendrick Lamar.
Oh God.
Okay. That's a good
All right.
song.
That's a good song.
All right. Yes, he is.
I've also heard the theory that, by episode 3 of next season, in the Battle of the Two Rivers, kills Dane Barnhold and gets kicked out of the Tinkers.
Oh, Aram?
What with Dane sneaks up on Perrin, tries to kill him. Aram kills him instead. Repeating the exact same thing pretty much that happened in The Road to the Spear. Like the same thing. I mean, they have to speed stuff up. So
I get that completely. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, we have a gazillion characters in the books as it is.
Exactly.
How many characters are they going to bring in? I mean, we get little bits and pieces, like we got Basil Gill, but as a shadow of himself.
Oh yeah, they him Basil Gill, and he was just in Tarvalon too.
Yeah, and stuck in Tarvalon, and that was it. He was like pointed at a room, and that was pretty much it. That was sad.
Yeah.
I was deeply upset about that.
So yeah, and also in Amador we have the Lord Captain Commander, who is the real king of, or at least the standing authority in all of Amadicia, with the presence of the White Cloaks and his army being way, way larger than the crowns, than the royal guard of Amadicia, who I believe is King Aelron. And I'm thinking, am I right about that, or am I King Aelron, something like that?
That sounds in Amadicia.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. But I mean, I don't remember a whole lot about the King of Amadicia because it was pretty much they were run by the White Cloaks, so I didn't really pay attention to all of that. I know they mentioned it, but it was like,
we got some of him when Morghese went to Amador for help.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. It's the name we don't remember.
Yeah. Most, like I said, most of what I remember of more. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Koala.
No, I was just saying, I don't know why we don't remember all the names.
Well, Gnome just threw it in there. Elrond, Rovere, Lucan.
Perfect.
But yeah, I mean, most of what I remember about Morghese and going to Amador was pretty much Pedro and y'all messing with her nonstop. Right. I know that they talked about the king and all that, but again, he was like a puppet. So it was like.
And he ended up killed, I believe, by the Shanshin in the Battle of Jeremel, was it?
I believe so. North of Amador.
Yeah, they called it the Battle of Jeremel. At least the nobles did. And I believe talks about it later on in the books that a lot of the Lord's captains died at Jeremel, something like that. And that's where what's the name? Asuana or what's his name? Asunawa gave his
Asunawa,
yeah, that
said the odes to the Shanshan Empress for the White Cloaks. And that
was another piece of work, that dude.
I just want to say real quick, Noam and Garn, thank you for that. Jansen handles it really well, but I want you to know that if he can't get a name right, he like is stabbing his leg with a fork below the camera. His face is calm, but he is dying inside when he gets it wrong.
He's got one of the, what do they call it, a Cersei or whatever that the monks used to put on their leg to hurt themselves.
Amazing.
Oh God, is Saladar in Amadisha or Altara? I'm looking at the map, and it's kind of like in between.
It's supposed to be in Amadisia. I mean, Amador, Amadisia. It's
I just couldn't. Well, no, it's not. I meant Amadisha and Altara, but I don't know where the border for Altara is, so I can't tell. But anyways, all right. Sorry, that was just a stupid.
I mean, the border is the one thing, but then the Queen's writ, at least right now, is not. It's about 20 miles outside of Ibajar.
Which is way south, yeah.
Yeah,
because Ebudar, that's right. They don't have a whole lot of influence, so it only goes out so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So are we ready for another city?
Yes, we are.
Ladies and gentlemen and humans on all the spectrums. Oh, nice. Thumbs up. We are going to bring our sights and sounds, our relatives, our grand relatives, to the city of Tarvalon. That's right.
Woo!
I should have put a sensor on that one too. Yeah, let's head up Tarvalon.
So this is
we've been
city.
Avoiding it.
And all of us are old enough to remember watching Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. Now, when I first read the books, that's what I thought of when I thought of Tarvalon. You're going to the city of cities, a magical place where the buildings look like cats eating, and waves crashing, and schools of fish. Like the fish market actually looks like a school of fish. There's a awesome inn called the Blue Cat that looks just like that. And all of the streets spiral out in color from the White Tower, which right now is the largest, tallest structure in the known world today, which kills even the topless towers of Carrion. And it is a central part of the world, if not just Tarvalon. It is the power of the Aes Sedai. It's their stronghold. It is, according to Elida Sedai, the heartbeat of the world. And it is a place of commerce, of safety, of everything.
Some of the worst behavior ever. Also, And real quick, in my mind's eye, Tarvalon looks like a Dr. Seuss world.
Yes.
Right. But which is like funny because of what the Aes Sedai end up like doing to that place and how dark and gross it was. Even if they weren't like known dark friends, there's dark shit going on.
That's why when the sitters get together, it just sounds like womp, 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 womp.
Yeah. They're like, why are they running? Why are they running?
Tarvalon is like the balance to almost to Amador. In my mind, it balances out Amador. Yeah,
like it is, and it is a place that has so many people of power that most times they're all so convoluted that they block each other from getting anything done. I would like to think a lot that the majority of the Aes Sedai that live and dwell in Tarvalon are all pretty much political, and they have spent so much time doing what they're doing in the White Tower that they have lost touch with the world that they've sworn to protect.
Well, let's not lose touch with what's going on. We got another follower, subscriber, supporter. We're gonna help you out, even though you live super down south. I'm not good at. Oh, my bad. Whoops. I'm supposed to rap the entire song contractually. I'm supposed to finish the song. That was a mistake. It was no way me just trying to save myself. Yeah, we're up to 52 backers. Let's go. We need the Leaf Cast bump.
But I have to say that backer just did a huge donation on top of what they bought for themselves. Like, it is just so beautiful because it's going to be great to have, a set there at WatCon. I might not make it there next year. And for me to know that there's a whole set of cards there if I'm not even there, or just for going on years in the future, that's like just amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
You're spreading joy. I'm glad to help. No, for reals, you're spreading joy. You've been a pleasure to work with. You're such a sweet person, very creative. I love your attitude. You just jump right in there. Tavern, what were you gonna say?
No, I said it. That'll just the cards are going to become a pattern in the wheel, right, of our community. So that's a given.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yes.
That's the hope, is that they'll just be a wonderful part of our fandom. Because we'll just spoiler alert, we will be looking at doing expansion sets going into the future, of course. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, Tarvalon.
Yeah, this ugly place. So for me, like my mental picture is like a cross between the CIA and Parliament, and like, right, like they're just so hell bent like on like playing this game again. Yeah, they invented the game of houses. It's obviously like the downfall of the tower, and it's proven out. And historically, like, they've undermined themselves with these edicts or these rules around themselves, like you can't lie, which is just like nonsense. Everyone knows that that's just nonsense. Like, so you've literally learned how to like the spirit of the law is like bastardized. Like they just they're basically lying all the fucking time, but they're just like not technically lying, right?
It's right.
So,
yeah.
It's like the House of Representatives in any country.
Yeah, so we're talking about we have like a whole gaggle of like nuclear bombs walking around with abilities that no one else has. They regulate themselves. They go around manipulating and also like in a lot of ways I think that allegorically, like, it is America. Tarvalon, it like rules the Randland, like America intervenes around the world.
They're the superpower.
Yeah. We just like throw our weight around. They depose kings. They install rulers. They end wars. They start wars, and they're basically behind everything. They meddle in everything. A lot of kings and principalities have like an Aes Sedai like advisor just like sitting right there, which. In hindsight, when 10% or how many percent of Aes Sedai were Black Aja? 20, 30? I forget. There's a percentage.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. Like in hindsight, like that's not smart to have advisors working next to kings and queens. So it's a fun way to look at like how to not govern. It's a fun way to look at how to not yield power. And it's sad because Moraine literally had to like get, her mission. Swan and Moraine had to hide it. Literally just hide the world-saving mission from everyone else because no one can be trusted because they're all just like sniveling idiots. So it's fun to think about how much I hate them.
Well, one of the big reasons for that though is because for 3,000 years, the Aes Sedai have been fundamentally flawed.
Yeah.
Their own sign is black and white. It took the men and women to be servants of all in the age of legends, their utopia that it used to be. And when Luz Theron and the 100 companions, led the attack on Shao Ghul and the male half of the source was tainted, it changed all that. And 3,000 years is a long time for someone, no matter what part of that yin or yang was, to hold power and disdain the other half.
And that's the balance of the whole story. Yep. The men tried to do something on their own because the women were like, nope, we're not going to help. But they tried it anyways, knowing that they needed the women. They went ahead and did it anyways. And then shit hits the fan. And then the women start running stuff, on their own, not trusting the men at all. Matter of fact, basically wiping out any male they can channel, which would never restore the balance.
With good reason.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, absolutely, with good reason. But I mean, what I'm saying is, rather than to try to find a cure for it or try to fix it in some way, they didn't try to. Basically, what I'm saying is that they didn't try to balance it out.
Well,
right? And so it kind of goes
years for Nynaeve Almera to find a way to do it, which is another huge boon in her favor on the show to be a Tavern. That being said, I mean, I don't know how anybody can't make it into the Horn, Heroes of the Horn, if they're the first to do something in 3,000 years as impactful as that. So,
okay, so here's my question then. Is she the first one to do it in 3,000 years because she was born to it? Or is she the first one to do it in 3,000 years because she wasn't set in her ways and didn't want to look any further? Because this is the way it's always been done. Nobody's ever fixed that. Nobody will ever fix that. We don't build Terangrill because we don't have the ability to do it.
That's not true. That is not true.
Well.
I got into an argument with
that was an example of that, but yeah.
John Shin have been making Terangrill for thousands of years.
But did the White Tower? Was the White Tower doing it?
No,
they were fixed in their ways. They were set in their ways.
True. Yeah, very true.
They didn't want to try anything new.
No, they didn't. They didn't want to try anything new.
Well, also there's only so many of them, right? And they're like dying off, like messing around with them.
Quinn's POV, she even mentions how upset she is that more Aes Sedai lacked the ability for innovation. And she says that about, I believe that's what's the chapter called? In a Box or something like that. I can't remember. It's where she hid the IDOM and the Shodan call access.
Yeah, it was in a box.
Yeah, the box.
So, do you recall?
This is interesting. I just wanted an actual real comment in chat. Lightning Lance. I think it's
fuck.
literally because it couldn't be cured until Rand overcame himself. The pattern needed the dragon to choose the light first, then anyone could have learned the cure. Nice.
No,
All right.
I don't know about that.
Uh-oh.
Because no, I mean, is he referring to the taint, or is he
I think
referring?
we're talking about the madness here, I think.
Yeah,
And cleaning the taint. Yeah,
because we're talking about cleansing stilling, like, aren't we?
well, we're kind of talking about all of it. I mean, for example, the Aes Sedai also only looked for novices in certain places, or they were sent
You're right.
there,
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Because they look at the surprise they got from the Two Rivers. We would have never have thought that in a small village like this, because they stopped looking there.
Yeah, they did stop looking there. Huh. I mean,
So-
well, that's the thing though, they
absolutely.
never were looking at all. That's the point.
That's true. I mean, young women were coming to them, and I think it just became a thing where, every woman that can channel is going to come to us. Nope.
No.
Absolutely.
In fact, yeah, when they made the decision in Saladar to bring in anybody who could learn, because Egwene says that the White Tower is too weak to not accept any kind of strength or turn away any kind of strength.
Look what happened. Yeah, look what happened when Egwene said, "No, yeah, we're taking everybody."
Yeah, we're
Look
taking
how
everybody.
quickly the numbers grew.
Yeah.
They
And-
came out of the freaking woodwork.
And as far as the woodwork, as far as the old blood singing, and as far as for our argument that the purer your blood is, the stronger you are.
Yeah,
Consider Sharina Malloy, who I have to believe is a Malkiri. She is the advisor to the Malkiri Queen in one of Nynaeve's tests.
yeah.
So, I mean, I think that she is Malkiri. That's a very, very, very good argument that the blood sings. The old blood definitely sings.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I think that Malkir and Manetheren, or the regions of Malkir and Manetheren, are very closely tied.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with that.
So where are we at now? We're still
Gnome
in
says that Sharina's
well, I mean,
Indian.
Right now we have I'm standing on the top ropes. Tarvalon and the Aes Sedai are all lying down on the mat. I'm about to body slam. I'm gonna superfly Snuka. Boom! Done with the Tarvalon. Everyone knows my feelings about them.
Yeah. Now we do make a cameo appearance right here.
Oh, actually, real quick, my last point. Tarvalon. I went and saw Howard Zinn speak, and he said, "Can you imagine if America was a humanitarian superpower?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah," and everyone just standing ovation. All right, go on.
Yeah. So we make a little side,
Where to,
appearance
sir?
to a place called Tiffin's Well. It is where Moraine has taken a small sabbatical with land to learn a little bit more about the Corinthian cycle. To find out
where that's at.
Now, I have to believe that it's somewhere close. I don't know where it is. I think it might be in Altera. I do, however, believe that in the show, wherever Alana's family was the exact same place they filmed wherever Tiffin's Well was, just in different angles.
Yeah.
But
It's supposed to be in Arafel. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tiffin's Well is a old.
Yeah, it is in
little
Arafel. I found it.
city.
Yeah, it's
it should be on the map.
it is. I found it. I had to
And
look.
it's a
Yeah.
quiet community where Adelis and Vandine, two of the older Aes Sedai, have taken a retirement so they can write a book about the history of the world from the break after the breaking. it just so happens that they also have almost as much knowledge there as some of the libraries do in some of the other major cities, and in fact, some information that some of those libraries don't have at all. And the knowledge that these two, one a green and one a brown, I believe Adelis is the older by 2 years, and she is brown Aja. And Vandine, oh no, am I wrong?
Adelaus, I think, was Adelaus the younger one?
Adelaus is the older one. I thought was brown, and Vandine is green. I might be wrong about that. Because in the show,
Vandine is green. They said Vandine is green.
Okay, in the book, Vandine is green and Adelis is brown. Yes, and Adelis is her older sister by about 2 years. In the show, they changed that, and Adelis is green, and Viren is brown. So they take away Vandine. So I have a very crazy theory about this.
Go for it, because go for it.
In the show, I believe that Viren is going to kill her sister, showing that she is black.
You think?
And yes, that way they will clean up a whole lot of things that they don't have to do for the book. They don't. They will. They still surprisingly show that Viren is black, which is what they have to do. They show that gets killed by a black sister, which is that makes it. They don't have to bring in anybody else to do it, which saves them money. And I think it is a very, very good mid-season shocker for now.
I just have a question, though. Adelaus in the show was still a brown. She wasn't green.
I think she was a brown. Yeah, I think she is a brown because I think her ring is brown.
She was a brown in the show. That's why they were writing the histories together, and like she'd never had a water. She hangs out. Yeah, she goes back to the tower and hangs out with the Browns and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just
because she sent the alcohol back.
That's
with
true. She was just a very greenish brown. She was a very greenish brown in the show.
She also doesn't have a warder.
God.
Yeah, she doesn't have a warder. That's true.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, she's got. Yeah, she would like to have land.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, don't we all though?
Well, listen, land
don't
is
we all?
The best thing. Somebody asked the other day on Twitter,
he's okay.
Which is your favorite book or whatever, and I was like, any book that Rand is awesome in, or any episode that Rand is awesome in, because that Lan is awesome in, which is pretty much every episode. Lan is the shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's also the piss on a tree.
Yes, this is true.
Yes.
Yeah. Let us not forget. All right. We're doing great. I feel like we're coming close to the end of our time.
Are we?
And does anybody have any last second thoughts about Tiffin's Well?
No.
I just love it. I love the gardens. I think I could be very happy living there.
That place is amazing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Martha's Vineyards, maybe.
Yeah.
And did you notice that the hill, because it's up on the hill, and when you saw Moraine bringing the water up from the well, did you notice that it was all ruins, that hill had doors and windows in it? And there was so much to do living there, and then you could go exploring, and it'd be fabulous.
The whole world, even the cave that they kept Logain in, was an old building, because you could see the light coming in from the top. I mean, I love that aspect of it. What kills me is that they don't talk about it as much. Like, they have a whole world full of ruins, and nobody fucking talks about it.
And they do talk about it sometimes in the books. They do. They veer off in a few points of POVs. They talk about ruins. They do in Matt a few times, especially when they do. I think the Splintered Hills. They talk about where Matt sees them and sees, I believe, what were they called? They were called the what are they called, man?
You're the
Tom
only one that's going to know this.
No, Tom said I think they would be called the Splintered Hills.
All right, he's grabbing the fork now.
There's the
Yeah, he's digging into his leg hard.
and there's the I think those mountains would be called the
Which area are we talking about?
What is it? Why am I blanking on this? This sucks.
All right, look, here's the whole map to spur your memory.
Words are hard.
Here's a whole map. You point to an area and I'll zoom in.
I think if we look over there, those mountains.
Is it the Splintered Hills?
Yeah, the Splintered Hills.
Splintered Hills, an area in Cormeda where Queen Eridal penned some of her finest poems. But
And
where?
One of Matt's memories saw it actually happening at the time. The Dancers, that's what they're called. They're called the Dancers.
All right, well, where are they?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't have a search on this thing.
Somewhere south of Lugard, I believe. Because
right, south of Lugard.
Okay.
Where's
Hey,
Lugard?
Nomagard and Dancers, come on.
I'm looking for Lugard.
All right.
Shit. Terabon. Amora. Amador.
Well, I'm proud of myself. I didn't veer this entire show off course.
sorry.
I kept it on the train tracks, moved it through. No, I'm
okay. Here's this. Okay, hold on. I found the Splintered Hills.
The Dancers are in modern day Altara. Lifeline of food coming in strong.
Splintered Hills are right here.
Altara.
The
Here's
Dancers
Altara.
are three identical hills in Altara, according to the companion, but it doesn't say
they're gonna be on
exactly
here.
where.
Lightning Lance, did you draw that
Says when,
icon, or
but not where.
was it drawn
Yeah.
for you?
I believe Tom, Matt, the Band of the Red Hand were outside of them at one point. Maybe even with Tuon and Selucia.
Well, if that's the case, then I mean, well, if there were two on, it would be later on.
I think Overseer is just like randomly putting.
Yeah, no, you're right. If there
would
would be near the Melvidi Narrows,
Right,
you're right.
yeah, because you have to work out where they were
Nice.
when
Yeah.
Matt saw them to work out where they are, because the companion only tells you when they were.
And they
All right,
were
here we go. Nomagard comes. All right, those hills have been called the Dancers when this place has been called Londaran Kor, the capital city of Aharon. Aharon. Aharon.
Hey, Aaron.
You know, we love you.
Oh, there's Lugard right there. I'm pointing all over the map looking for fucking Lugard. That's right in my face.
Amazing.
It takes a village, man. I love it.
Oh, anyways. Last thing, I mean, I like Jensen's Adelaus thing. I'm worried. I mean, we're not getting rid of Varen for sure.
No.
And Adelaus so far has been part of it, but she's also been kind of like a side story type of thing.
Just like the book.
Yeah, like a sidekick. Yeah.
And she
So
killed by a friend. I believe it's S. Who kills her? I mean, it's Carrie Ann kills her.
Yeah, it's one of the it's one of the dark friends.
Carrie Ann, I believe that's what her name is.
So my thing is, that's gonna probably remove the whole Adelaus taking over the kin at the palace when she gets pissed.
What are those two called? Starts with a Z, right? One of those is the
Someone said it earlier.
I think her last name's Alcasa.
You're making me hungry.
You're making me hungry. Okay. The other one's name was Quesalupa.
Yeah,
Sure.
flauta Sedai.
Flautas. and her water enchilada.
Is it
Zaida.
Zaida?
Zaida. I should know this. It's close to my
No,
mom's.
not Zaida. Zaida is one of the sea folk.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
All right, what is
Huevos
this?
al
What does this mean? I think Allie just read the reveal yesterday. What does that mean?
from Wheel Takes.
I know, but like, what's the reveal? And
Yeah, what's the reveal?
I want to read it.
Listen, we're totally lost. You got to come if you're going to come with a little bit of information. You got to have all of it.
Yeah, there was a reveal. I'm too busy to.
Well, it's a reveal in her book read is what it was.
Oh, okay.
Because she's still reading through the books.
The reveal. Okay, no, I get
the reveal of who
now,
it was. Yeah.
Okay, now, okay. I thought like you got some sort of script from Wheel of Time. I was like, oh my god, I want to read. All right.
No.
Oh yeah, the reveal. Who killed Elias? Look at Sheer.
Yeah,
you can kill that lovely person. Look at that.
It was dark friend Betty in the courtyard with the dragon thing.
I'm not going to tell. I mean, I know who it was, but I'm not going to say it.
We're full spoilers.
No, we're full spoilers. Yeah, we're all in on this.
It was Kariana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but
Luce Jr. wrote it in there.
All right. Well, as you can see right here, this is one of many cards of time that are available. Please go support the Kickstarter. Get in on the fun. WotCon. Do you have to be a part of WotCon and to participate and enjoy this? Koala?
So you can't buy the cards of time because they're copyright material. They're not for sale. They're collected. I'll have a few thousand of them to give away at WotCon. But if you support the Kickstarter, then you can just pay for the printing of a full set. There's 34 in the Season 2 General Edition set. There are some limited edition cards as well that I won't be revealing till we get to WotCon. So, yeah, I'll be giving them away. And it's a great way, if you're going to WotCon and you don't really know many people, me handing you cards of time several times a day all through the event makes it a great way to have a great excuse to go up and talk to lots of people, because it gets really competitive by the time you get into Saturday night, Sunday morning, and people are trying to complete their set. It's really fun to watch everybody running around, trying to trade with each other. So it gives you a really good way to go up and talk to lots of people. Yeah,
and
it's certainly allowed me to talk to lots of people. It's been great.
You might see a beautiful woman and an ugly, bald-headed guy on a card. That's all I'm saying.
There might be a limited edition card that's kind of like what's just being said. Yeah, so we also I run a photo competition at WotCon each year, and there were 5 winners from last year, and they will be on limited edition cards, which is really fun. And there might even be some puppets.
Oh, you let the cat out of the bag.
Listen, unless that card has pockets on the back where you can shove your fingers in and go like this with them.
Oh,
that would be a truly limited edition puppet card.
Oh goodness! I'll finger your puppet.
Hey baby, hey now.
All right, Jansen, I'll let you go. Let's all say goodbye. Koala, thank you so much. You're a great spokesman. We did not get the goal, but I'm glad we got a little bit to help you out. Tavern, thank you for joining us once again. Brother Dan will be back next week. Beth Doman will be feeling better next week. We will continue with The Traveler's Guide to the Wheel of Time. Everyone, run for your lives. This is The Way of the Leaf.